you don't understand that your success is really reliant on yourself, you are going to be trapped. So what we're focusing on today is the feedback loop of success. So the feedback loop of success, right? So the feedback loop of success. So before you get started, there are 4 components to this feedback loop. There are actions. So your actions, your outcomes, your mindset, and your future outcomes, right? So these are the 4 components: actions, outcomes, mindset, and future outcomes, right? And what does this mean? So I'll explain this to you very easily, and let's just grab our colors out and do it this way. So your actions. What are your actions? Your actions are the things and the steps that you take geared towards getting a specific outcome. So whatever it looks like for you, whatever the success that you're looking to get, wherever you're trying to go with your life, it doesn't matter what level you may think you're on, whatever works for you, as we said in future video or past videos. The successful path that you go down is based on yourself, based on you, based on where you want to go and what you see your life turning out into. So the actions that you take towards getting those outcomes for your life are the actions here, right? So I don't care how you get there, but you have to take action, right? And so even above action is probably thinking / planning. Right? So before you take action, you're going to have to probably think, right? And that's fine, thinking and planning, but don't waste your time. Don't get so caught up in thinking and planning. Because thinking and planning, yes, can only take you so far, and then you have to take action. Once you start taking action, you can then adjust. You can change the way that you're doing something. You can see, okay, life happened to me over this area, so let me change it up a bit. Oh, I got a new job. Oh, so I have to work on my side business at a different time during the day. Okay, great. Oh, I got to switch my friend group because I realized that friend group's not offering me anything. Oh, I got in a breakup because, understand? So whatever you want for your life, you have to take action. And then as you're taking the action, you readjust and plan accordingly. Right? And so that brings you over into your outcomes. And I promise you, this video won't be so long. So your outcomes. So what are your outcomes? Your outcomes are whatever actions you took garnish you an outcome. Right? And we talked about this before. If you want to change your life in a positive way or positive direction, you need a daily routine that is geared towards the success path for you, not for anybody else. This is why the influence that you have or that you get from other people does not need to penetrate your brain, because they're giving you influence from their life and the path that they're on. Right? So don't take advice from anybody. Go to yourself, retreat into your mind, retreat into yourself and say, hey, where do I want to go? What the fuck does my life look like? Because a lot of us are going to have to change and move and maneuver because life is always happening for us, right? And if we don't understand that just yet, you're going to have to alter and switch up some things because you have a plan for your life, but your actions and your habits aren't really geared towards getting that outcome. So then you wonder why your life isn't going in the right direction. It's because the actions that you're taking to get the specific outcome that you're putting out in the world do not align, right? And so then therefore it feels like life is happening to you when really life is happening for you, right? And if you don't open your eyes and wake the fuck up, let's use this year, this next year, this 2025 year. If you don't wake the fuck up and see how your actions aren't aligning for the outcomes that you placed on your fucking vision board or on your affirmations list, you're not going to get anywhere. And your stupid ass resolution list and whatever the fuck you got on there is not going to come to fruition at all. You're going to go to the gym for 30 days, but then the actions that you take because you go out on the weekends, drink with your friends, and don't do shit besides maybe do drugs and play video games all day and then go to work, don't equate to you living in a different country outside of the US and balling out because now you've built some business. Does that make sense? All right, cool. So let me grab another marker. So next, mindset. Now, this to me is the most powerful thing on this whole shit, right? But you have to understand how it works and how it will change over time. Your mindset is directly linked to the outcomes that you got, right? So what the fuck does that mean? That simply means, let me get this black marker. That simply means that, okay, cool. The actions that you took to get your outcome, right? There are specific actions that you took. I don't know what they are for your life, right? But they better be geared towards something, because if they're not, you're just letting life happen to you. And then you're getting these weird ass outcomes that you didn't put out in the universe, but you really did because of the actions you took. And then the outcomes are either going to be, so let's draw this here, right? The outcomes are either going to be positive or negative to the idea that you have centralized for your life, right? So the thinking and the planning that you do to take the actions, right? When those actions are then taken, you get an outcome. Those outcomes are either going to be positively or negatively affected or affecting your mindset, right? So what you want to do when you start to get these outcomes, whether they're positive or negative, is you want to assess. You really want to assess. Because this right here, I promise you, is the most fucking powerful thing on this list. Because think about it. If you're always getting negative outcomes, right, you're just going to fuel that negativity into your mindset. You might have self-doubt. You might go outside and people reject you. You might not fix your image so that girls want to be attracted to you, right? You might be a toxic partner. And so guys don't want to really connect to you, right? And you see it every single day. Everybody, whether it be the dating pool, business, life, your 9 to 5, whatever, they're either giving outcomes that they're either getting outcomes that positively affect their mind or negatively affect their mindset, right? So if you're always getting negative mindset, you need to change your fucking thought process in how the actions you take. You need to assess these. What actions are you taking to get this negative outcome? Because I promise you, it's directly affecting your mindset. And then you're going around life always looking at the negative things in life. Oh, my life isn't going great. Oh, I'm not living in this place I want to live. Oh, I'm not getting the outcome that I want. Oh, this, that, the third. And the more negative you think, the more negative energy you will attract. Like we talk about all the time, frequency is a thing, right? So if you're always getting these negative outcomes, your mindset will just be fed negativity all the fucking time, right? And if you're a person, let's just put you here. If you're a person and your mindset is just negative, right? You're going to be emitting negativity off all the time. And what does energy do? It attracts stuff. So if you're negative, what do you think is going to be attracted to you? Positivity or negativity? Right. And then what does that future do for these future outcomes? Let me switch back so that we can get the colors right. Right? So what does that negative thinking do when you start to attract more negativity through the frequency that you have? Future outcomes. That is what directly gets affected. Your blood clot future outcomes. Let me tell you something. You sit there with your negative mindset, right? And you fill your brain with doubt. You fill your brain with, oh, I can't complete this. You fill your brain with, oh, this not going to work. Oh, this always happens to me. Oh, my family never supports me. Oh, my friends never support me. Oh, this, that, the third. You're negatively telling your brain that you are not worthy of the things that you've planned out already, right? So then when it comes down to thinking about, because this thought process also happens. So before you get to your outcomes over here, you're also thinking about your future outcomes that are far ahead, right? So think about if you're already thinking, right, to take action, to then get an outcome, and then the outcome's negative, and then your mindset becomes negative because you're always thinking negative. Then you become this negative Nancy who then fucking gets all this negative energy geared in their brain, in their body, in their spirit. You're going to just attract more negative shit, which then leads you to then having a negative mindset, which then fuels directly into your future outcomes. Then you wonder why your life isn't on track and you can't get shit done. You wonder why. There's no wondering anymore because your life is predictable to a degree. You can get the outcomes that you want, but you have to change your mind first. And where do you change your mind from? Change the outcomes. How do you change the outcomes? Make better actions. How do I make better actions? Think and plan about the actions that you're about to take. Right? And then what's worse is when you think about these future outcomes in this negative mindset. So let's just say that's negative. Right? You think that this future outcome is going to be negative. You're always going to be thinking in what? A negative cycle. So if your thought process, right, of your future actions, when you start to look forward, when you start to try to predict your life before taking the action, and you're saying, my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan, you can't even think of a fucking positive 10-year plan because you already have negatives. You already have the proof that you can't make it. Right? So you think about that. Then you say, fuck it. The thinking and the planning to make better actions don't even exist because, bro, my life not even turning out the way I wanted it to. And so what do? You then make these lackluster actions to then give you what? Lackluster fucking outcomes, which are more negative, to then what? Feed your fucking mindset that you're negative. Then you become negative. Then you can't even think straight about your future actions, which then become negative. And then the cycle repeats its blood clot self. Saying on a fucking sense. You see you need to wake up and understand that your life is in your hands. You can take the action to get the life that you want. But if you continue this bullshit of thinking that negativity is the only route for you, you will not be able to get the outcomes that you want. You will then feed yourself negative mindset. That negative mindset will then give you a future outlook of negativity. And then the cycle will fucking continue until you're dead. So you need to get into this place of understanding that negativity, yes, is there. And is there a possibility of having a fucking outcome that's negative? Yes, the possibility is there. Does it need to be your possibility? Abso-fucking-lutely not. And this is why I talk about the influence of your brain is more impactful than anybody else because no external factor can penetrate your brain, right? No external factor can change your brain. You are the one in control of this thing up here and what it does to you. So if nobody else is in control of your brain and you have full control, then what does that mean? That probably means that when you're thinking about taking action, these actions better line up fucking very closely to the outcomes that you're looking to have. So think about it. And I tell people all the time, think about it in reverse. Take your life, right? Take where you want to be, right? So work it backwards. Work this entire thing backwards. Walk with me here. So fuck this negativity because we don't want negativity. So we want positive outcomes, right? So we want positive outcomes. Big blood clot plus Ronia. We want the positive outcomes. So if we want the positive outcomes, we need to think of our future outcomes as positive, right? And once we start to get into this place of, yes, I can, yes, I will, yes, 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 you see yourself already. And this is why you should go travel to the things that you say you want to go do. Go do it. Go find people who have lived the life that you want to live because they're already living in your future outcomes. They're living here already. So if you get advice from them, or at least not even advice, if you go see their life and what it is to live that sort of lifestyle that you're looking to get, this is why you have mentors, right? It's good because that positively reinforces that outcome exists somewhere. Once you understand that outcome exists somewhere, no more negativity, your mindset, when you're reverse engineering it, you come back this way and you look at your mindset. What mindset do I need to get here? How do those people live their life and what do they talk about? What does their mindset say about them? How do they introduce me to their mind? And what does that mind tell me that they're doing that I'm not doing? Oh, they're thinking in a positive way all the time. They're grateful for the negative things that happen, perceived as negative. They're grateful for the small things that you find inconvenient. They're grateful for the car that they have, even though it may not be their dream car. They're grateful for the positions that they've been put in, even though it's not the biggest and the highest level. Oh, they're grateful for the breath they got, the health they got, that they have a healthy dog, that they have healthy children, that their parents are still alive, that they live in a house and have shelter, that their fucking phone bill is paid, that the Wi-Fi still is jumping, they got food finyam. You understand what I'm saying? So everything shifts when they change their mind to positive, right? Everything's good for me. Life is happening for me. Your mindset changed just a little bit to what? No longer negative. Positive. Bomba. That we are looking for positivity. Cool, so we get the positivity now and we work it backwards again. How do we get the positive outcomes instead of these negative ones? Fuck the negative. How do I get the positive outcomes? Right? Look at your life. See where you went wrong. See the things that you got to improve on. See the things that you got to change. See the things that aren't working as well as they could have worked. Right? And see that. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to write it down on a book, but it's another thing to really analyze yourself to a T. And this is where the little pain starts to creep in. And this is why everyone's not living in this perfect life that they want, because they're not giving themselves the runway so they can feel the pain. You have to feel pain when it's coming to changing your mindset. Your mindset is going to be concreted in this negative area if you're always doing negative actions, right? So if you're always taking negative actions, like going out with your friends, taking shots every second of the day, this, that, the third, whatever it is that's fucking up your life, you know better than I know for your life. It's your life. Right? Your brain gets concreted after a certain amount of time. And imagine if you've been doing this for a decade, that's your life. Right? So you're going to have to rewire your brain to think positive. And then how do I get the outcomes that I want that are positive? Maybe drinking isn't for me anymore. Maybe smoking isn't going to get me what I need. It's just a temporary relief. Maybe all of these dopamine hits that feel good in the moment but cause long-term destruction are fucking me up in real time. Right? So maybe my outcomes are directly affected by my actions. And we've proved that already through other videos that we talked about. The things that you do and the habits that you continually do will then garnish you the outcomes. Okay, cool. So if you're already in a positive mindset and understanding that I must be positive and I want to get this positive outcome, I must make positive actions. Steps to getting a better life. Steps to getting into the outcomes that I want. That will reinforce this positivity. Okay, cool. So maybe this is the hardest time. This is the hardest place to be right here. This right here is the hardest place. Your actions. Because your actions are something you must deal with yourself. Nobody can save you. Not me, not this video, not that next man on the internet, not your favorite influencer. Not nobody can change these. Only you can work on that. When your phone turns off, when you click off this video or you swipe up on the next video, I can't save you. Only you can save you. And I want you to understand, no one's coming to save you. Nobody. Not a soul. Because at the base level, no one gives a fuck, bro. Right? No one gives a fuck at your struggles and whatnot. Only you can, and only you will get you out of the problems. Because again, your life is predictable if you know what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right. So the only way to get to a positive outcome is by having positive actions. Maybe you got to take that hard fucking 12-month extraction of yourself away from the bullshit. Because if you've been doing this for a decade, 2 decades, maybe 3 decades, hey, however old you are, think about all of the bad habits that you've been doing. Now, you tell me how long it's going to take you to get off those habits. And that's why I said in the last video, it takes you becoming an entirely different human being to get into the outcomes that you want or get to the future outcomes that you want, because it requires your mindset to shift. And the only way you're going to get your mindset to shift is if you get better outcomes. The only way to get better outcomes is if you get better fucking actions and steps and habits that can be compounded over long periods of time to then create better outcomes, create a better mindset, which will then forcefully put you in a better position in the future. And this cycle will go on and on and on. You'll be wondering how some people get it better or faster than you. It's not luck. They just did shit that you were scared to do. And once they got a little fucking momentum, they didn't let that ball stop rolling. No matter how hard the fucking terrain got, they just let the ball roll down the road. And as the ball roll down the road, they continue to get favorable outcomes because of what? Positive actions, positive outcomes, positive mindset, positive future outcomes, back to more positive actions. And the cycle goes on and on and on. And this blood clot goes all the way down to prosperity and wealth. Hey, we all gonna die at the end of the day. So you gotta choose what the fuck you wanna do. Holla. Boy, Mr. Brown.